You for joining Kia Talks today, live here with my guest Jenny Garcia
What's up, everybody?
from Fuzzy Bear Wellness. Thank you for joining us today, Jenny.
Thanks
How are
for
you?
having me. Doing great, man.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jenny. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, do we have enough time? My name is Jenny Garcia. I am from the south side of San Antonio, southeast to be exact. I graduated from Highlands High School, went on to go to University of Incarnate Word, and majored in fashion design.
Wow, that's wonderful. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I don't.
No wonder you have such beautiful style with your dress.
I went to school for that. I don't typically use that per se, but it's nice to have had the opportunity
To learn, right?
right, to go to Institute of Higher Education, but then also just to get that different type of life experience, right? Getting to learn just other things other than what you would have maybe normally learned, just going through life.
Right, right. It helps you become a little bit more familiar with what's a color, right? I mean, I went to marketing classes and the art classes. I didn't know black and white were not colors, right? I mean, that's just space. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So you learn so many things every day, and that particularly really stayed with me because, I mean, a lot of people don't know that. You ask them what's your favorite color, and they'll say black or white.
Yeah.
Hello. Now that I know, that's great. So you moved on later, and now you are an advocate for natural remedies, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I grew up, I was used to my mom and my grandma doing, the home remedies. My mom had a book, and they were very into doing, I guess part of it stems from like that Mexican culture, right? Doing different herbs and things like that. So it was not.
No brujeria.
No. Not that kind. But I wasn't a stranger to knowing how natural things helped, and so when I got introduced to essential oils, particularly a brand named doTERRA about 10 years ago, it wasn't so far-fetched to know that these things could possibly help when it comes to like health and wellness things. But it wasn't until during the pandemic, about 2 years ago, was when I really got aligned with a group of friends of mine that they did a deeper dive into how pure, so very important that it's the pure essential oils, how those work in and on the body with our various body systems, and how they can really help us, right? If we're lacking in something, it's not going to be like a miracle thing, like, oh, here's this oil, it's going to replace, I don't know, let's say estrogen, right? For women that are estrogen there's missing, right? It's going to help your body to produce it naturally, right? So it does various things like that. So that was really cool to really start seeing the more sciencey part of how pure essential oils could help us.
So was like there like were you searching for it, or what made you like even be interested in it?
I think partially, yes, I was kind of searching. For me personally, I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia 2018. Went through the whole trying to get that diagnosis, right? Was feeling these certain symptoms, what's wrong with me, blood tests, all these different tests. So finally got a diagnosis. Okay, that's only half the battle right now.
Right.
They're trying to.
That just means, yeah, we believe you.
right. That's another thing.
That's
right?
all it means.
That those symptoms that you're feeling aren't just like in your head.
Right.
But then the other part of the battle was then the doctors trying to figure out, well, what kind of medication is going to help you cope with it. So I went on one medication, didn't do nothing. Second medication made my anxiety and depression worse. I couldn't get out of bed. It was horrible. Finally, we landed on a third medication, and that medication finally was helping to ease some of the pain. But then guess what? I'm waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, drenched, night sweats. So it's just like, couldn't find anything. Well, I'd been missing so much time off from work. I was working for a state agency, had been there 6 years. They were at their wits' end. They didn't want to give me any more time off, even though I was on FMLA. So me and my husband had to make the difficult decision to, is the money worth my health, worth my life?
Your sanity, girl, your sanity.
It was getting so bad. So I had to walk away from that job. Had to leave. And so from that point on, we were trying to find natural things because he didn't like all the side effects I was going through. So it's kind of interesting because usually men are just like, tough it out, right?
Yeah.
But no, he was,
it up, buttercup.
He was very loving, and he was very like, let's find something more natural for you to try to cope. And so we went through various things, and it wasn't until a couple years later where I'd already been using the oils, but I just wasn't aligned with the right team to help me to learn and to grow using my products. And so finally, I started using their vitamin line, Lifelong Vitality, where about a month in, I started to notice a difference where my pain levels, my flare-ups, everything was so much more improved. I had such a better quality of life after that. And that changed my viewpoint in me using these for myself and my family to know I got to tell people because there's other people out there that
the responsibility that if I discovered this, everyone needs to know. Because your symptoms were true, right? And you noticed a difference. That's fabulous.
Yeah, I couldn't keep quiet because it's like if someone else is suffering, I don't want them to suffer in silence. Have the option. If you choose not to take it, well, that's your choice. But at least have the option that there's something else out there.
Right, and then so it gives you the passion and the sense of getting it out there because you have seen the change in your life, in your body.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know you shared with me some wonderful products, and I personally have been using them as well. I'm almost out. Because I too suffer from fibromyalgia as of 2004, but again, it was finally diagnosed later on. I don't even remember the year because now my mindset is like pain is not the boss of me, so I know it's there and you just have to move on. But it is a sense of comfort knowing that they believe you, period, right? Yeah. So that's awesome. So tell me, you mentioned, so your mother and your grandmother actually taught you this is okay. This is something that will work for you. So that's why you took a chance on it.
Yeah. I had that. I had that open mind. That was something that I was very grateful for with my mother. Like having that open mind with different things, and it helped me to have an open mind in life and just being able to experience things to see is it gonna work. If not, then there's something else you can try. Right? It's not
so you started with the company right away, or
no? So I used their products. Was it 10 years ago? Started using them, but it wasn't until about 2 years ago that I actually made the leap to do the business. And so initially, when I decided to do the business part and sharing, it was just kind of like more about me. I want to get my oils paid for. But then the more I learned more about how they work, seeing me writing recommendations for other people and it helping them too, it's kind of like was like an aha moment. Like, wait a minute, it's not just about me; it's about other people. And so the more and more I learned, the more I had other people having the same experiences. It just kind of drove me more to really share more and to see that it wasn't just limited to, oh, I got a tummy ache or oh, I got a headache. It was like big things. Like one of my first customers came to me and was like, "Hey, Jenny, the doctor said I have high blood pressure. I don't want to go on medication. What can I do? What can I try?" And so we got her a protocol, and 2 years later, she's still not on medication. Her doctor is always like, "Wow, what are you doing?" And so that was really cool to see just from that point, something so serious as that there was things that could help them. And then it's just kind of gone on from there, various other serious things that, that it's not just about the oil, but I mean, it's about also pairing it with a healthy lifestyle. Maybe there's some things that you're doing in your life that
or not
right,
not
doing that you would rather or rather not do, but when they implement those things or subtract those things, then they're seeing a big difference. And so it's become a big thing of like not just the oils but health and wellness, making healthy habits, kicking unhealthy habits or limiting them, right? Some things you can't get away from, like if you're a fast food junkie, right? Sometimes when you're a busy person, that's all there is out there, right? And you just got to get from A to B. But in trying to pick the more healthier portions or, limiting it when you can, like there's small things that you can do that add up to the bigger picture.
And it pays to research and look at different things that can help you. I mean, I was just listening to a podcast that Joe Rogan was on there, and he was on all these kinds of medications for cholesterol, high blood pressure, and he mentioned that he was falling asleep during meetings, and then he went on to see a body biologist, no longer a doctor, because what they mentioned in the podcast was that doctors are trained on what medications to give you based on symptoms. Isn't that crazy?
Sadly, yes.
Oh my God. So you think they know and they really don't know.
And the thing that I've come to learn too is that a lot of doctors, like when they go to school, a lot of those schools are funded by big pharma. So it's like, what's the big part of their curriculum going to be related to what drug fits your situation, as opposed to what vegetable or what fruit can we implement to start moving the needle the other way. The nutrition courses that they take are maybe like one or two, and that's it out of the whole. I mean, how many years do doctors go to school?
And then he also mentioned that they don't know the biology of the body. So this doctor, I forget his name, actually treated him for 6 to 8 weeks, and now he's off all medications.
That's awesome.
And then his mother-in-law was going through similar, not specifically the same ailments, but he cured her in 6 weeks too. 84-year-old lady off all medications. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, I truly believe, because I myself use essential oils, and you've introduced me to some additional products, and they're not going to do you any harm, and if they can balance you out, why not? So tell me, was there any obstacles that you faced during the process of you actually coming on board with the business?
I think one of the obstacles more was myself and my lack of confidence, right? Not necessarily lack of confidence in the products, but lack of confidence in myself in terms of being able to share with people and wondering if people would actually take me serious and listen to the things that I had to say. But the more I just was like pushing myself to be more comfortable, to go live and not to be nervous to be on something like this, it was like a process. Because before I used to do Pampered Chef, I used to do cooking demos and stuff, and man, I'd be like, so nervous and like,
stressed.
And I loved cooking, but that was just, that whole thing that aspect of it I didn't enjoy it. But I pushed myself more and more. But then when I finally pivoted, said, hey, you know what? Let's try doTERRA. Let's try talking to people about wellness. Like, that's where I finally found, they say, your zone of genius, right? I felt comfortable. And the more I did it was just like, man, like.
So you've been doing it how long?
The business 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
So it's giving you a sense of purpose with the folks that you're helping.
100%. A sense of purpose, a sense of like, I don't know what other word to use, but like honor. Like I feel honored to be able to help them in that way, because you know when you're going through those health things, you feel helpless and you're just like you're tired of doing all the things that are not working, tired of doing all the things that are just
But you'll
making
try
it
because
worse.
why not? Let me try it.
Right, because you get desperate. But then also too, I've experienced there's a lot of people that are just because the doctor says take it, they'll do it. But instead of doing the research too, in terms of what are the side effects, what are the long-term negative effects on your body, what organ is it going to deplete or overload? You know, there's so many different aspects to, you know, whether or not it's really going to be beneficial in the long run.
Is there a specific product that you can talk about that you can say, well, this is really, you know, like our number one power thing that really helps a lot of people?
Yeah, and so even though we're an essential oil company, our number one sold and resold product is actually our vitamin line. It's called Lifelong Vitality, and that's where I definitely did see the big benefit in terms of helping with my inflammation, helping with my pain levels, helping, because when you think of a lot of root causes of different things that we go through, a lot of them could be either gut health, could be your nutrition just isn't there, your inflammation levels are all out of whack. And so though that lifelong vitality pack really helped me to start targeting a lot of those things. And so like I mentioned, 30 days in was when I noticed, wait a minute, you know, I'm not feeling the way I was. The way my fibromyalgia would act in my body, if I bumped into the door frame, you know, a normal person would be like, oh, okay, I just bumped into something. No, like I would hit here and I would feel it radiate all down my arm. It would be so debilitating where I'd have to like pick myself up off the floor, you know, like I'm okay. It was just, you know, just a little minor thing, right? It was, the body would blow it out of proportion almost, right? And so about 30 days in after taking the Lifelong Vitality, I hit myself on the car door and I was like, wait a minute. Like,
not reacting.
I didn't feel anything, and so I'm like bumping myself on purpose, and I'm sure I looked really weird to whoever was watching, but I was just like, what? Like, wow. And the only thing at that point that I had been doing different was using those supplements. And so when you start learning more as to why, because it's setting that foundation for your body, so then when you do start using the oils or you're using other supplements, your body's reacting so much better to it. It's absorbing it more. It has something to work with, right? We think of like a foundation of a house. The key thing is the foundation, right? Because if you fix a crack on the wall and the foundation's whack, that crack's gonna be back. Right.
You're just patching it.
Right.
Which is what my next question was like. So what do you see as far as a difference in someone who starts to use your products and maybe doesn't take care of their gut health? Does it work the same?
Well, no, it won't. It won't work the same. They'll get some benefit, but when you start working on different things, right? Because my main thing and what I try to do to help people is to get to the root cause of what you're going through, right? So if it's anxiety and depression, what is it stemming from? Is it gut health? Is it that there's something that's off? Is it because of something else that's triggering it? Is it an emotional thing? You know, we try to figure out what that root cause is, and we tackle that. And
how do you do that? How do you do the figuring out part?
Part of it is like they're working with their doctor too, right? They're going for blood work, so we get that kind of out of the way too. So we see maybe what body systems are not working properly, and then we kind of make it like a process of elimination. Okay, well, it's, you know, even if maybe it's not stemming from gut health, everybody can use a little bit of help in that process, because it's still going to help other things that might be lacking, because it might be a bunch of little things that are out of whack versus one big thing. And so when we just start working on all of it, you're going to see an overall dramatic difference.
And people tend to change when they start to see results, right? Yeah, so that makes a big difference for them to focus on their gut health. Well, that's awesome. That's fabulous, you know. So how do you balance your career and your life? I guess I'm assuming comfortably.
Yeah, I tell you, that's still a work in progress. I mean, sometimes I know when I was doing a lot of events on the weekends, I kind of had to scale back a little bit
Oh yeah.
because my husband predominantly works Monday through Friday. Every once in a while, he'll do a Saturday, but even then, it's just a half day. And so I felt really guilty working a lot of the weekends because he's there, like, he'll come with me to some of the
Yeah.
events, but it's like,
That'll be his weekend.
right, and then back to work for him. So I had to kind of scale back and kind of be a little bit more picky in some of the things that I did. And then when we did have together time, really like, okay, I'm gonna put my phone over here and I'm gonna one-on-one time with you. Because when I'm working with my customers, I try to make them feel like we're working one-on-one, like no distractions. Like, you have questions, let's answer them. Let's get to the bottom of it. So he deserves a lot of the one-on-one attention too. You know.
So what role does self-care and recreation play in your life?
It plays a big role because if my glass is empty and I'm run ragged, then I can't help anybody, right? And if I do help somebody, it's kind of like halfway, and I don't want it to be halfway. I want, you know, like I said, to be able that they have my full attention and we're on it. We're partnering together. It's a partnership when I'm working with somebody, because just as much as they're invested emotionally and whatever into trying to figure out what's going on with them, I'm invested in them too, because I want to see them. I know the potential that's there, and so I want to give them what they need to get to where they're trying to get to.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. But personally, do you have a specific recreation or hobby that you practice?
I got really into Pilates.
Oh, okay.
I try to do Pilates at least once a week, and so I'll do that. As far as like
That's
other
dangerous,
things,
I've heard. If you've tried Pilates, you've heard.
I've had some good teachers. I go down over to the what is it called? It's in the Pori area. It's a Pilates place there, and so that's really cool. They have really good instructors. So I try to do that once a week, and then there's another place that's off of Fredericksburg that has they have a sauna. They have these float pods, which is really cool. So it's like this huge pod, and there's like tons and tons of Epsom salt. And basically what happens, because there's so much Epsom salt, you float.
Oh, okay.
And they call it almost like sensory deprivation, because you're not touching anything. You're just floating. It's completely quiet. You can make it black if you want to.
Oh, wow.
That's too
You're
far
going to
for me.
invite me
That's
to
too far.
That sounds interesting.
But it's super cool because, like, you really get to decompress and you get to relax. And so when I get up after the session's done and I go to do this, you hear my back go,
wow.
like, because you're so, like, weightless. It's super cool.
That's great. I love it. So that's basically what you do to help you physically, right?
Yeah, to recharge and decompress and to just kind of like start the week off right. We try to do that like on Sundays, when we just kind of start fresh for the week.
Do you have any significant goals that you've set for yourself as far as personal or business?
Yeah, just really within the company, they have the bigger goal to triple our impact by 2030. And so they have their goal globally. And so for me, the goal that I set at the beginning of this year was to triple. So whatever amount of customers or people that I was able to help last year, I want to triple that, just to be able to help that many more people to know that they have options. That way they know that there's other things out there.
And you give out samples and things like that?
Yes,
right?
I give out samples. I do free classes. That's a thing that a lot of people are kind of like, what, free classes? Like, yeah, no joke. I do free classes, whether it's in person, on Zoom, on various different topics. I'm going to do a class on Zoom in a couple weeks. I think it's not this Friday, not next Friday, but the first Friday in October. I'm actually doing a class on women's health.
Oh, okay.
I know I had talked about it before, and so I want to do, it's not going to be a full deep dive because it's only going to be about 30 to 45 minutes, but it's going to be a class about women's health and hormones and various things that you can do naturally to help you. So whether it is you're still going through your cycle every month, or if you're transitioning out of that into menopause. I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of people that I met in the WUSA community were dealing with hot flashes and various different things when it comes to menopause. So I'll be speaking to that and giving recommendations as to what things they can implement or try to kind of ease.
And that's going to be on social media?
That's going to be on Zoom.
Oh, on Zoom. So I have to sign up. You'll put it on social media for people to sign up, and then you'll send them a link.
Right. And if you're not able to make it, we do record those Friday classes, so it will be on YouTube also.
I was thinking that, like, if it's on Facebook, you can always go back, but if it's on Zoom, you pre-record it and put it on YouTube.
Well, it'll be live.
Oh, okay.
And then it live recorded and then put on Zoom. Put on YouTube after.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
So
Great. Yeah, I remember seeing that you were going to actually be coming on Facebook with someone like once or twice a month, something like that. Did that happen already?
Not yet.
No, okay. So you've got that coming up too.
Possibly.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I know there was a couple of other people that have approached me that wanted to do either classes or connect with as far as how the essential oils can help them in their particular business or their realm of genius. So there was someone that's going to be doing some, because October is going to be Domestic Violence Month. And so this particular individual wanted to do a seminar of some sort with speaking to that, and so I was going to come in and kind of talk about some essential oils that can help in terms of overcoming that trauma that they've dealt with.
I didn't know that they have that effect.
Yeah, so that's really, really interesting that with the essential oils, because we think of aromatherapy, we kind of limit it to like, oh, I can feel relaxed or I can feel energized, but there's so much more to these essential oils and the way our brain perceives things, and to really help people through traumatic experiences, and really it's powerful. One of my friends actually was telling me that sometimes when people go to particular types of therapy that make people talk about trauma over and over and over again, that the body feels like the body doesn't know the difference between you just telling a story and going through it.
Right.
It thinks it's going through that trauma again. So for some people, retelling that story and being forced to retell that traumatic story over and over, their body is like feeling like it's subjected over and over again. So there's other modalities and things that can help those people that just shouldn't have to retell their story over and over.
Right. So how do you continue to stay focused and set new goals for yourself?
I think
that's something that motivates you.
Yeah, I think just the fact that being able to help more and more people, like what helps me stay focused is just the end outcome of knowing that those possibilities are out there for people. I just have to find the people that are willing to experience it, and then just sitting down and doing the research, because it's not just you read it one time and you know it. Like, really figuring out the why this happens, why that happens, and how it's connected. And just really thinking of the bigger picture, really helping people in the community that don't know, right? Because even though, like I said, that I grew up around using kind of herbs here and there and had that open-mindedness, I didn't really truly know until I started attending the classes regularly. Then I started doing my own research and then hosting my own classes.
You become like a doctor yourself, because you kind of like, start working with different people, seeing the different results, and then you compare that case to another case, and then you become more successful.
Yeah, and so it kind of leads me to like wanting to know more. I mean, there's like different, like I toyed with the idea of going to school for nutrition, because then seeing how much nutrition plays a big role in the things we go through. But then also looking at other modalities, like there's one that's not widely known about. It's called biomagnetic therapy. And so it works with magnets on the body, right? And working with energy and the body energy and the cells and different things like that. And so I've toyed with ideas about those things, getting that certification, that being another thing that I can offer people in the community to help them.
And where can they find you if they're interested in learning more?
I'm on Instagram, Fuzzy Bear Wellness, but then also I'm on Facebook, just under Jenny Garcia. You can find me through Musa, or you could text me directly at 210-332-8980.
And you can see the info. They put it down there on the prompter.
Woo-hoo.
So you can definitely get a hold of Jenny. And I know she's also looking for folks who are interested in what she does, right?
Yeah,
Learning
always
more.
always interested in finding new people, whether it's you want to give the oils a try or maybe you want to give the business side a try. I know, and what was really awesome through WUSA, I was able to meet a new or
Yes,
reconnect.
she's a WUSA sister. Yes.
I was able to reconnect with someone I'd met months ago, and she's going to implement the oils into her business and what she does. So there's many different facets of how people can implement those things to help each other.
That's awesome. Well, I know that there's a lot more to learn about you and what you do and how you can help folks. So you're definitely welcome to come back anytime. Um, and we appreciate you taking the time out to come and visit with us for a bit. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. But like I said, we've got a lot more to talk about because I know I actually saw Jenny on Facebook, talking a little bit about what she does and trying to reach folks. And I said, well, come on the show because, it's better for them to hear it from you. I guess, I don't know why, but like seeing it just on social media and then seeing someone actually, with a passion, with the heart that they put into the business that they're working, it makes a complete difference. And I see that in Jenny ever since I met her. So I know, she's true to the products and she really believes in what she does. So if you need help, here's your girl. So we're going to go ahead and do the switch out.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Let's see. Ayudan a las personas que están en el programa de lo mismo que ellos.
Sí,
Les dan oportunidad. Hola, hello.
Hola, hi.
Let's welcome Ana Mayorga.
Yes, hi, nice meeting you. I don't know who's watching, but I'm here with the famous PAnn.
Tia Talks, and we bring interesting people so that you can learn about our WUSA folks, right? So Ana has been gracious enough to come out and tell us a little bit about her and her business. So do you want to go ahead and start and let us know a little bit about what you do and who you are?
Okay, so my name is Ana Mayorga. I'm a licensed esthetician, hair laser tech, slash injector, slash med spa owner. I have a lot of certifications in the beauty field. I've been in the beauty field.
Chingona.
I've been in the beauty field. Well, I have paid the price now. I've been in the business for 20 years. I started working. I started backwards. I started working for medical directors, opening med spas for them. And from there, I learned a lot with them when it came to opening med spas from scratch. Like from leasing the building to getting trained with all these lasers, all these machines, all these technologies, getting trained in California, coming back, and then training the staff because it was easier for them to pay for my trainings than pay for
Everybody.
the staff, and then for them leaving and then having to retrain people. So that's how I, little by little, new trends come. Now I'm a brow artist of all these new techniques, the microblading, powder brows. So I'm always, staying on top of the new trends. So I have a med spa in the Chavano area. We have a team of 9 or 10 now, girls. Most of us have been in the business on the beauty field for more than 20 years. We are instructors as well. And it's a steady. We have our base clientele, so we're friends too. We're not only neighbors in the rooms, but we have been friends for years. So it came to a time that suddenly we'll just came all together and we're working there. So, and I'm happy to be here to share a little bit about how I got to where I am, so nobody can get discouraged.
Right. So going back to that, so was there a woman that in your life, since we are focused on women, was there a woman that actually made a difference in your life that actually, helped you or pushed you to want to take that leap to do something different?
You know what, I was thinking today about that, and it wouldn't be fair to say there was one woman, but I think that in every season, even since when you are a little girl, there's always a person that God is gonna use to guide you on the right path.
Right.
And I think there's so many wonderful women out there, starting from my mom, my pastors. There's so many, because I cannot only talk about my professional side, but also in my personal life. There has been so many. And I will say there's always pay attention to the people that is around you, depending on the season that you're going through. There's always one that is gonna be your, like Jonathan with David, right? That is gonna be guiding you through, and don't do this, don't do that. I think we always have one Jonathan in different seasons. So.
Just have to listen.
And pay attention, because there's people that is gonna be around you, and they might not be the ones that are want to see you shine.
Yeah.
They either want to shine like you, just to be sucking all your energy, or there's gonna be people that are gonna be encouraging you to become a better person, a better version of yourself.
That's true, very true. So what about values? Is there something in particular that has brought you through that you've stuck to, that you learned as values while you went through your life?
You know what? Since I was a little girl, I knew what I wanted it to become. I always knew that I wanted it to be in the beauty field. As I grew up, my dad was in the oil industry, so he always wanted us to be in good schools. So when I told him that I wanted it to be in the beauty field, he was like not too excited, because in Mexico back then it wasn't like a very good career. Now it's like one of the best ones. So he made me go. Well, not he made me. He just made me choose whatever bachelor's I wanted it to go and do. I went to law school in Mexico for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I finished, and I gave him the degree. And after that, he told me, "Okay, so now you need to go back to the house." And I'm like, "No, you know what? I just found out that there's gonna be some friends that are going to Boston to study English in Harvard Extension School." So when he heard the word Harvard, okay, go. So I went there for a year. I studied some classes also in law school over there, and just like credits here and there in the government school. And I kind of, learned how to speak more in public over there. And I stayed in the United States for personal reasons after that, and I decided to go to beauty school. What had kept me, my values that have kept me going, I think has always been my faith, because the same way that I knew that I wanted it to be in the beauty industry since I was a little girl, I grew up Catholic. And my parents always had me in schools with nuns with priests, very religious schools. So I always knew there was something out there, God. And since I was a little girl, I knew that I didn't have to have the priest in between.
Mhm.
So I think my faith has always been strong. But okay, so when you go through hard times, sometimes that faith,
Yeah.
it makes you think, is it real or not? But it always have kept me going
He'll
through
pulls
all
you
my,
through.
yeah.
So you've actually, I mean, we all have faced obstacles in our journey. Can you tell us about any specific obstacles that you faced in the beauty industry?
In the beauty industry, well, now it's there's a lot of, I don't see people as a competition. I think I see them as a way to learn from other people. There's always I always tell my clients this: I'm not the best one in what I do, but I always make sure they know that I'm doing the best that I can to give them the best service, so they can trust that whatever I'm doing on them, I'm doing the best. There has been times, yes, where people is kind of jealous of what you're doing, especially when you are working in those little suites, because there's people that they don't see you as your colleagues, they see you as a competition. And you are not supposed
So
to
sad.
do that,
Yeah, it's so sad.
because like if we are together in these, we can always refer each other, and the sun comes out for everybody.
Right.
So I think that's one of them. When I wanted to open my own spa, it was finances. How to get there, how to get to have my own thing, because I always did it for people that had the resources, right, the financial resources. But at the end of the day, I was the one that opening the places for them, doing everything for them, picking the machines, training the staff, and I was only making hourly pay. Until one day, this woman, she was, I think that's the one that I really admire her when it comes to being a big entrepreneur. She's a millionaire. Best friend of one of the doctors that I used to work with, and she told me, "What are you waiting for you to open your own thing? If at the end of the day you are the one that is doing everything here, is it money? How much do you need? How much do you need? Why you don't set goals? Write it down. How many facials do you need to do? How many brows do you need to do? How many procedures? You set a goal." And I sat down with her. She made me like a little business plan just to understand. I'm not very good at writing and stuff, but I'm very good at memorize. And I got to that goal, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And
she showed you how to make that plan, to set the goals, because a lot of people wish for stuff, but they don't plan it out. And if you don't plan it out, even if especially if it's a huge goal, if you plan it out with small steps, you'll get there. But if you never make that plan,
exactly, you need to even though I'm not a very a writing person, you need to put it in writing, set goals, and always making sure you're on track.
Right.
Don't keep focus, because that's one of my weaknesses.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lose focus, but one of the things that have helped me overcome those obstacles too is being surrounded with good mentors.
Right.
For anything that I do.
A huge difference. Being around people that want to see you succeed and are helping you and giving you those tools to push you forward. That's fabulous. I actually found that now that I'm older, unfortunately, because I'd be a lot further. But it's not my journey. I just live it. Somebody else decides for me how it's gonna go. So like you, my faith is big, and that's what guides me.
Yeah, because if God is with you, who is against you?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I always said that God is the administrator of my business, and I always said, if you gave me this dream, because I believe everybody, when they say, "Oh, I wish I could do that," or "I wish no, it's not a wish. You have the gift within you. Just develop the gift. Surround with people that can mentor you. I have mentored a lot of my clients to get out of their actual careers, teaching, even a doctor, she was my client. Now she has a very successful med spa at the Dominion.
That's
like
beautiful because
that.
you
Yes.
see
And-
your teaching flourish in someone, right?
Yeah, and especially because I'm like, if you have the passion, just do it. What do you need? What do you need? Just and that's when it comes, not to see people that, oh, she's gonna compete with me. No.
How can I help her?
Yes, because you
Yeah.
know what? When you help others, you grow too.
How can we work together? There's always a little something. I don't consider myself like a pro at everything, but people will comment and tell you, oh, I like how you do this. Can you teach me? Why not?
Yeah, see,
Right?
like just right now, I was talking to the esthetician here. She was
Uh-huh.
telling me they teach. I asked her why they teach. I told her what I am teaching,
Mhm.
and you never know. Maybe one day we can do something
Yes,
together.
collaborate. Why not?
And it's about connections and having open communication with all these people that they're good at something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not gonna go, let's say, with Chris to talk about med spa when
Right.
she's good at cycling, right?
Right.
So you know the persons to go to,
Mm-hmm.
and get surrounded by those people that are strong in certain areas, and go from there. Like the way I created my business was getting together with somebody that is a great businesswoman, and she's even very well recognized in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I had the blessing and the pleasure to call her my friend.
Mm-hmm.
She even offered me a very good job in her own company,
Uh-huh.
but this is what she said: I want you to become my CEO of my company. And I'm like, okay, so it's not beauty related, because now I want to play. I
Uh-huh.
just want to go travel, have my own time, be the owner of my time, because even as a business owner, you have to be there.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I really appreciate the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm already where you want to be.
Yeah.
Now I'm the owner of my own time. I play with my time. I go with my kids. Wherever I go, I don't want to go back to being on a schedule.
It's
Even
true.
though the
It's-
offer was very, like, that
it's
I
not
can't let it
everything,
go.
though. It's not.
I said, no, I don't want to go back to an 8-hour schedule. And it's not about all the money that you make. It's
Mhm.
about how much money can you make in less time,
Mhm.
so you can have more freedom. You can make millions, but you're going to be there 8, 10, 12 hours.
No.
I just want to make a lot, but I'm always saying, think smart. Make more money in less time so you can have more time for yourself.
Right.
I'm a single mom, so I need to be available for my kids as well,
Right.
so I can have a
And
balance.
jump if they need you.
Yeah,
Right?
so that's part of how I got to where I am, just picking and choosing my friends, my circle of trust.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how do you balance work and your personal time?
I think I'm good at it after working for so many companies, 8 hours or longer shifts.
Mm-hmm.
After I became a mom, and that's another thing that I just want to share like super fast.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that I knew when I was a little girl that I wanted it to be on the beauty business, I knew that I wanted it to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And nature didn't bless me with my own kids, but guess what?
God did.
did for. It hasn't been easy. No, it's been a roller
Things worse than
coaster.
aren't.
But you know what? Because people tell me, oh no, Anna, it's because you got yourself into this situation just because you want it, and I will do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will do it again, and I will go through the same roller coaster.
Yeah.
When I became a mom, God pushed me to get out of the 8-hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
That's another testimony, but now I'm able
You'll be
to
back.
yes, I'm able to spend time with my kids. So I try to make my schedule. I know it's a little tight, but you know what? When your clients wants to go with you, they'll go when you're available.
Right.
I
Right.
think I have become to this point that they know that when they come with me, they're gonna have a good service. That they wait. I'm like, why these other people? Some colleagues are booked like for 3-4 months. It's not that they have appointments all day. It's because now they have a balanced life.
Yes.
Now they work 8 to 4,
Mm-hmm.
gone. It's not that they're overbooked. It's just that they learn how to have a balance, and that's how I'm
Very
doing it
true.
now. Having a schedule that is more flexible for me and my clients and my kids.
Right.
Because, if you don't teach your kids, the society and whatever is out there, social media is going to teach them. And I think
And
I'm
there's
a
a lot
yeah,
of mixed signals out there right now.
a lot,
with the
a
kiddos.
lot. So just right now, I was able to take out my two little ones from public school and put them in a good charter school. I feel accomplished.
Yay!
And
That's awesome.
I'm not worried about my other daughters; they're taken care of.
Uh-huh.
But I like to be involved. I like to be involved with my kids' life, and then not also that, but I like to promote a healthy lifestyle. So I have always liked to work out. I used to be part of a group of runners here in San Antonio, very popular. But then my knees gave up on me, and I found Chris's San Antonio Lady Riders group.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. And now I'm blessed. And I know. So I'm blessed to be part of the team because I was just having breakfast with one of them, and I told her I cannot be without working out. And so my kids know that once I feed them, that I pick them up from school, they're good. They know that I'm gonna go on the bike, and they respect me. They're always following me on my.
They trace it.
Yeah,
all the time.
time.
That's good though.
Yeah, they're
That's
always so they want to know when I'm coming back. It's not that they're worried about
Oh.
me going. They just want to make sure, like,
Is she
my
back?
mom, yeah. But yeah, it's like I like to have time for everything. My mom says, I can tell you don't like to be at home. You're always like, it's not that. It's I like to have time for everything.
Right.
You
right.
know, I
don't waste your time.
No, I tell
Yeah.
my mom, if you want to sleep, just sleep on on the crib. You're gonna have enough time there. Right now, let's just leave, and especially you need to take care of yourself.
But
And my
you get your
business.
8 hours though? How many hours do you sleep?
Well, now when my kids are back in school, yes, but normally I'm good with 6.
6, right?
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but
Sorry.
that's what I tell my mom. Life is just to live it. In for me, exercising has always been like my endorphins, my addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, in every sport, I like to always. I think in everything I do, I try to always. I challenge myself. I don't compete.
Right. It's not competition
It's
with
me.
someone, it's yourself.
It's me. It's about me. I always want to okay, so I'm starting to get bored. Let's see, what else can I do to become better and become better? And always those little goals, they keep you motivated all the
They
time.
challenge you and keep you moving forward.
Mhm.
I love it.
Mhm.
So if there was something that you could change, what would that be?
Believe in myself.
Really? I think you believe in yourself
No,
already.
now I believe more,
Uh-huh.
but there's days that still like, okay, no, I need to pick up myself and again look at me at the mirror, all the things that I have been able to achieve.
Yes.
And because my pastor, my dear pastor from Colombia, that I love her today, she has been like a mom to me. She's always told me and other women.
Another woman.
She's like, I don't know if you see yourself the way I see you, but you have so much potential, and I think a lot of women sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see, my friends from college, they're all good attorneys now, because I went to law school.
Right,
so
right.
when I see them, I feel intimidated because I go back to Mexico and see them. They're very well educated, like they live the good life. And I feel that I live at the good life too, right?
Mhm.
But you go to Mexico and it's hard to have that life unless you do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And
And they probably don't have time to balance.
and guess what
and
they
enjoy.
tell me?
Yeah.
Anna, we admire you a lot for everything you have done. Just not long ago, like a month ago, one of my friends that they both are married. It's a he and a she.
Uh-huh.
They went to law school with me. She came to my spa.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as she entered, we're like, oh my God,
Wow.
oh my God. And I'm like, and she's like, you should be so proud of yourself. And I'm thinking like, I'm here like the clinician, beautician, esthetician, and you are the attorney, right? So it's giving ourselves credit. And I think
Yes.
to believe, I would have done it, would have done maybe more if I didn't doubt about myself, about my capability of getting where I am right now, not to be so insecure.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that your yes is yes, your no is no, and I'm always being like,
Yeah.
but but I think we all have a weakness, and I think that has been one of mine.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
It happens to be unfortunately the same for a lot of us, and it all. I mean, I'm sure you know through therapy or
yeah.
learned that it has to do with the past.
Yes,
You gotta leave it back there.
exactly. Because you know what,
Se borró.
no. The past does not determine your present and your future.
Mhm.
Like, and I know we like to hang up like it's because my dad, it's because my mom. But let me tell you one thing. I think women nowadays we blame a lot in our exes too.
Mhm.
Sometimes us as alpha women,
Mhm.
we're very successful at business and doing this. And one day I went to this conference with extremely famous, strong women, and I asked the main speaker, I just have a question. Why, when you're a very strong woman, determined, why on the relationship side with the opposite sex is hard? And she's like, because you need to be with a person that is at your same level, that adds to your life. Because sometimes a lot of alpha women, yes, we go with the opposite, with the beta, because it complements. But sometimes yes, but
Nobody's gonna argue with me.
no. But you know what? Sometimes you just get tired of that person not adding to your life, and you're adding to their lives all the time until you get like all the energy is gone.
Yeah.
So I think not blaming it on your exes. They were only experiences, but like feeling that you haven't been very good at relationships. Like you see all these marriages that are 20, 30 years, and you're like, oh,
38.
I'm
38.
divorced. I'm like, it's not a failure.
Mhm.
It was an experience, and all those relationships, they work for good. And that's something that I know a lot of women, we feel that if we don't have the perfect relationship, the perfect man in our lives, we feel like halfway, like
Yeah.
we only are good enough half.
Yeah.
And no, that's something that we all need to work on, especially me too, right? That to get to the point that I've learned lately to be good by myself, to take care of Anna and love Anna, because I didn't like me too much. I will be by myself and I will just go out and find somebody. I've learned that lately, and I'm starting to like it, especially when I'm in my bike. I just love myself.
I know, girl. We don't want to come back.
No.
Yeah, that's so funny. No, wow. So that's great. I mean, you do what you have to do, and unfortunately, yeah, that is some of the ways that we think. But I've learned to think, that nobody's choices have an impact on me. It's my choices. Because if I allowed it, it was my choice, right? And as long as we make the right choices, or the choices that better us, then we should be good. Right?
Yes, no, and even if we didn't do good, we just learn from it and just let it go. And we're gonna have our times. We're gonna feel defeated, depressed, and it's fine. I think we have to have those times too.
Right.
But
you
then
have to
just
learn.
pick up yourself. I think we just need to learn not to stay on those times for too long.
Right.
Because it is allowed, for one day to cry, one day to feel depressed, sad, but just pick up yourself faster and have your circle of friends that are gonna be your cheerleaders. Okay, and
SALR.
Oh my God, yes. Starting from the founder,
Yes.
she's so. I always think that the way the head is, the body is.
Yeah.
So I know to be a leader in anything, you're always gonna be alone when the problems arise. But that's why you need to have like your circle, whoever is gonna support you even on your toughest times.
Right. So let me ask you, what are some of the most significant goals you've set for yourself, like for the future?
I think for myself right now, I'm working on having. You know what? I grew up with this mentality that my dad, my dad, and I'm paying the consequences now. He was, he did very good in his field. He was a very smart guy, and working in the oil industry in Mexico was very profitable.
Oh, okay.
And he always tells us not to worry about money and say, the coins are round so they can roll, and the wheels have wings so they can fly. He used to say that. And now at this age, 48, with 4 kids, I'm like, Anna, you need to be more conscious about when and how to spend the money, even if it's for Starbucks, right? Because for me, going to Starbucks it's like an experience. I feel like if I don't live maybe at the Dominion or living in this, I just feel like it's special. Yeah, every morning.
Somebody made my coffee.
Yes, but it's just about being wiser in my finances, because otherwise I'm just working very hard just to live by day by day. So working better in my finances for sure, so I can have like a retirement plan.
Don't worry, girl, I got you.
Yeah, no, I'm already starting to tell my kids, hey, when you grow up, just send me at least $100. You can send me so I can have a good time in Mexico on a beach, just drinking a coconut. So I'm already telling my kids that, so I can get a little help. I don't want too much, but just to be secure that somebody's gonna take care of me at least a little bit. But yeah, and that's one of my biggest goals, to become better at my finances, being more conscious about what do I spend, keeping up with the business, with the trends. Now there's a lot of good options for estheticians. The Texas law has changed. Before, a lot of the stuff was only delegated to nurses, doctors. Law has changed a lot. I'm blessed to have a lot of good relationships with doctors, so I have backups everywhere. So I'm getting more into the injectables now, and I can do it all basically if I want. Of course, I'm not an octopus, but also finding a good person to delegate.
Right.
Because sometimes the clients are used to you and they just don't want the other person. Maybe finding that person on the long run that I can just mentor and become my other me. The business. Yeah, the business is right now, because the way the economy is, people are sometimes spending money, sometimes are not spending money, and we need to be wise also about that. So I think that definitely my biggest goal right now is finance.
Good. And I can help you with that.
Yeah, I know. Well, we talked about it already. Yeah, you know the situation.
So if folks want to get a hold of you, where can they find you?
Okay, so I have my Instagram is Anna with one N, ANA, Fibrows, PHIBROUS _ San Antonio, and the spa name is called Skin Micro Brows and Aesthetics in 4445 the Zavala Road. I also have Facebook, and I think it's also like Skin Micro. I don't know.
You don't remember? Okay. Well, I know we have your information running on the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah.
So they should be able to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and for me, I like to do this. I like to encourage women and, believe in your dreams, find mentors.
Yes.
Believe in yourself. Don't wait too long.
Especially now that you're with us on Women Unlimited, that's what we do. We encourage women, we collaborate with women, we support women. Whether you're in a business or you're not in a business, just in general, if you want to take the leap, Women Unlimited is a group that's here to support you on your journey. And there's all kinds of careers, all kinds of businesses that come on board.
And one example, I get a lot of, just yesterday or 2 days ago, I had this lady that came to my spa, I did her brows. I think she's like in her 55s, and she saw that I teach permanent makeup. She wants to change her, she works for the oil industry as a contractor, independent contractor. She wants to go on the beauty field. And I said, one thing that I'm going to give you as an advice is don't get intimidated, because you are not young to start. There's no age for this. There's so many things. Talking with her, I told her about massage, how massages are becoming so popular because everybody's so stressed out. There's programs out there right now that you can go and get into a massage school where you don't even have to pay $1.
Really?
Yeah, like the one here in North Thermal, they have you go to the school to get massages. I think it's Spa de Sante, but it's the school of massage. They have a program that if you go and start with them, instead of paying them, you make your hours with them.
Oh.
So you work for them kind of for free, but I think you get the tips.
Yeah.
And that
It's
way
like
you're
an
not worried.
internship.
Yes.
Right?
So and you're still gonna have to make your hours anyway. So
Yeah.
you do that, you get experience, and you get to know people there that then they're gonna follow you to your business.
Exactly.
Estheticians that want teachers. A lot of teachers wanting to leave the
Definitely.
teaching field.
Definitely.
They want to become estheticians. I tell them, do not go to the expensive school. There's school that they just charge you $5,000. You're not gonna learn anything in any school. You learn outside. You need to go just to get your hours, and your hours for the state. Pay the cheapest one. They have a lot of.
At the end of the day, it's what you put into it.
Yes,
right?
there's a lot of options. So don't get discouraged if you want to be in the beauty field right now. It's growing. It's growing a lot, especially, I don't know, the estheticians are surpassing the cosmetologists, the hair.
Wow.
Because all the meds pass and then people don't want to get wrinkled and they want to still look beautiful. So the schools are growing.
Hey, you feel the way you look. So
Exactly.
you want to feel good, you got to look
Exactly.
good.
So don't get discouraged, and like if you any time you need any advice on that area, my team also, I work with Sylvia Mendez. She's the only. She has a recognition nationwide as a master hair colorist, and she works with me also at the spa. We work together, and she also knows a lot of. We give free classes at the spa.
Oh, okay.
Every 2 weeks we have. We do mapping classes for eyebrows if people are kind of interested in getting into the brow business. She does a lot of classes for hair, so for free. We do it so we can motivate people to see if they really want to get into it or not. And then let's say if they want to study with us, what they want to go somewhere else.
Right.
But we're there to serve you, to help you with any questions or whatever your needs are.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Ana, for giving us your time today.
Yeah,
and
you need to
sharing
stop
with
me,
us.
otherwise I won't stop.
Ya se nos acabó el tiempo. I want to take a minute and thank our sponsors, Evolve Medical Group, and their phone number is running down on the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for hosting us for our podcast. We also want to thank Women Unlimited because we are trying to make a change and be the difference for women in entrepreneurship and beyond. And I also want to thank my assistant, Digital Vida, Maria Rendon. She's the one that's running everything for you right now. And with that, Tia PAnn Financial is here to help you. You can reach us, again, www.tiapannfinancial.com. Send us your financial services questions, needs. We're here to service whoever is in need, whoever has a question, and our services are free. We're here to educate the community on anything financial services. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching Tia Talks, and Tia PAnn out.
Bye.